Welcome to yet another exciting episode of Candid Conversations. This is where we have unfiltered, behind the scenes, honest, vulnerable conversations about the journeys of people we admire today. My name is Blessing Okebe, your host, and I am super thrilled to have with me in the studio today a man who is so multifaceted, has multiple talents and accomplishments across different sectors. Personally, I call him Wazobia because of his ability to speak Igbo, Hausa, Yoruba fluently, like really fluently. And that's not all. He has traveled to close to 50 countries, has traveled to all states in Nigeria. Like, who is this man? I am talking about no other person than Dr. Sam Hart. How are you doing today, sir?
Thank you very much, Blessing. It's an honor and a privilege to be here, and I'm glad to do this with you.
I mean, thank you so much, sir. So today, this is Candid Conversations, and you know what that means. We are going beyond the accolades, the accomplishments, to go into the heart of who this man really is. So we're talking about his journey, the vulnerabilities, the honest things that may not make the headlines, right? And trust me, this is one episode you want to take a coffee, sit back, relax, and we will dive in right after this short break.
The thing with failure is it just reduces you in that moment and you feel like there's nothing else you can get right.
Sometimes when you try to figure everything out at the same time, it does not really work.
At those earlier stages, when you apply for those things and it doesn't work out, it feels like as if it's the end of the world.
Your foundation helps in where you eventually land.
All right, Dr. Sam Hart. When we go online, we see a lot of things about you, but I want you to tell us in your own words, who is Sam Hart?
Thank you very much, Blessing, and once again, good day, viewers from wherever you are watching from, and please continue to watch this show, subscribe, recommend it to other people, forward the link, and let them know these conversations are important. Like she said, beyond the razzmatazz, beyond what you see about people, beyond what they post on their social media handles and online, there are stories behind the crowns, there are thorns behind the crowns, there are journeys behind the position and place where they are now, and it is those journeys that are important to make them the sum total of who they are. If you only see the glamour and the glitz, and you do not see the journey that led there, you might be misled and think it is an overnight thing. So thank you for the opportunity to do this. You kept repeating an opportunity to be vulnerable. Okay, let's be going and see how it is. Who is Sam Ifeanyi Hart? I was born in the north. I grew up in the north. All my formative years were in Sokoto.
Okay, so that explains the Hausa part.
That explains the Hausa part. As a matter of fact, let me disclose that Hausa was my first language.
Oh, okay.
I learned Igbo. We only spoke Igbo at home, within the confines of our compound.
Family,
in our family. Every other thing was Hausa. The neighborhood, the kids you played with in school. If it's not English, then it's Hausa. So kudos to my parents for even insisting that we spoke Igbo at home. So Hausa, I sometimes I think in Hausa before I now bring it back to English.
So how did the Yoruba even come in?
Yoruba is an amazing thing. Well, it's been established that I have a flair for languages because apart from this ones you mentioned, I speak passable French too. If you drop me in the middle of Paris, which I've been to a number of times, I can find my way around.
That's like a collection of diverse experiences.
Absolutely.
And so, yeah. Also, one question I love to really ask my guests when we come on this show is, what has life taught you lately? What is that lesson that you just had to, what's that lesson for you?
Stay the course. Keep the faith. Having done all, stand. You are not in control of the variables. You are not in control of the circumstances. Even the people you think have everything together, they are battling a lot of demons internally, and they are winging it, really. They don't have
Not like they have it all figured out.
No, they don't have it all figured out. That's the language I was looking at. So do not get intimidated when you see people. It's just that perhaps some people are more prepared than others. the grace called favor perhaps works for some people more than other people. Perhaps it is the faith that they have that leads them. Certain prayers, power of a praying mother, perhaps other prophetic hands upon them. But I assure you that life is not a bed of roses. And what I've learned over time, I'm a person of faith. I've learned to trust my faith, trust my journey. So I ask that everybody should trust the journey. Once you've done your path, you've created. I've found that luck, what people call luck, are actually opportunities that met preparedness. So it's better for you to be prepared before the opportunity comes than an opportunity to come your way and you are not prepared for it and you start running helter-skelter. So do everything that you can. If it is education, get educated. If it is learning, go and learn that thing. If it is mastering, go and master that thing. And find your passion, find what you truly find joy in doing. Life breezes by. So you don't want to, what will keep you warm in your old age are the sweet memories of the things that you did that you really loved doing. Those are the stories you tell your children and your grandchildren, and you'll be smiling while telling them, And I mean, you would just be grateful to God and learn to live a life of thanksgiving. In all things, give thanks. Paul said, I have learned to abase and I have learned to abound, but in all I've learned to give thanks to God. So get used to luxury, treat yourself, pamper yourself, live well, buy good clothes, smell well, put on makeup, but also get used to not being without any of those things. Do not insist that if it's not a Mercedes coming to pick me up, I'm not leaving my house. Do not insist that if I'm not wearing amouage or whatever, I'm not leaving my house. Leave what you can when you can. When it comes, be grateful, bask in it, enjoy it. If it's not there, fine.
Amazing. They don't define
just
you.
drop your wig, comb your hair, make your all back be held in the column, and hit the street and go out. So do not be a slave to a certain lifestyle. Do not. So just adapt.
Adapt. That's
5-star hotel, you are comfortable, you come down for breakfast, you belong there. You don't have money for 5-star hotel, face me, I face you. You still come out and you own the space and the world is good. Thank you, Jesus, and you keep moving. So work with whatever hand fate deals you at every point in time, and do not be a slave to materialism and certain exceptions.
You talk so much from like someone who has experienced this firsthand, right? And you said you said something about thorns, right? For the crown, thorns behind the crown. And I want you to talk to us about some of these thorns that you have experienced, like failures, doubts. Sometimes people see all these big things that you have accomplished, and glitz and glamour, and they're like, "Come on, are you sure I can do this? What I'm currently going through, I don't think I can make it up full." So I want you to take us behind the scenes, the times when you failed, the times when you've doubted yourself, the times when you felt you are not good enough. Can you talk to us about this?
Thank you very much. So I mentioned that I was the fifth of 6 children. With all due respect to my siblings, I had to find my way to school, through school, and I'm talking of higher education. I knew of the importance of higher education. At every point in time in your journey and in your evolution, to thine own self be true, know yourself. Understand the prophecies over your head. Understand your purpose and your journey. Understand where you're going to. And when the environment does not look like it, do something about it. You know how in laid-back Nigerian thing that we say on the street, I'm from a poor background, ends at 30.
After 30, you become the background.
You are the background. Well, I want to twist that. I'm from a poor background, ends even before 20. Because afterwards, you are in charge of your destiny. I paid my first house rent at the age of 17. I moved out and I started living alone at the age of 17. Close to 3 decades later, I'm still very much self-sufficient. I have never needed anything from anybody ever since. There is no harm in needing things from people, but as much as possible, make your own fate, make your own journey, and be on your own path. Decide what you want. You mustn't walk with the template that was set for you. You mustn't walk with the hand that fate has dealt you. You have every right and every authority to redirect your trajectory and redirect your journey. And I assure you that if you are waiting to be given shoes, I exercised for 2 hours this morning. So I understand the dynamics of exercise. If you are waiting to be given Nike shoes before you start running, nobody might give you because they are not sure if you're going to use it to run or not. But if you start running barefooted, somebody will see you on the road and hand you shoes and say, you need shoes to walk faster. So take the shoes because you were already walking. I find that it is easier to help somebody who is already
in the process
and on the path than to, help somebody who just comes and says, help me. How do you want me to help you? They still want you to figure out how to help them. So you must know how you want to be helped. So I paid myself through school, my first degree, my second degree, I'm running 2 PhDs at the same time. I almost corrected you when you kept calling me doctor, but then equity considers that which ought to be done as having been done. I'm a lawyer, and then we speak of things that be not as though they were. So if I'm on my way to completing my PhD, then I'm already a doctor. So if you call me doctor,
speaking into
I'll
existence,
gladly, accept it. But just to clarify that, because we do not, also part of the journey is do not be an impostor, be truth to thyself, and make sure that there are no ambiguities as to who you are. So, dear Blessing, I have lived in very shady and funny neighborhoods. Face me and face you, yard, compound. This type where they query you for pouring water in front of my door and all those kind of things. And today I've built houses where it is not possible for anybody to pour water in front of my door or for me to pour water in front of anybody's door because there is no door to pour water. It is gate and compound. You understand? So, but do not keep your eye on the journey, on the destination, and you will find that wherever you find yourself at any point, if you are going to Abuja and you are going by road, you do not get to Falcon or get to Enugu to buy up and you now relax. That's not the end. You are heading to Abuja, so keep your eye on the journey. Know what you need to get to where you're going to. So even when I was living in for those of you who live in Abuja, I lived in Idu Karamo. I lived in Idu, but ever so briefly, for a few months. Why? Because I knew that was not my environment. I knew that the destiny I carried and what I carried in me could not be birthed and nurtured in this kind of environment. For those of you who do not live in Abuja, if you know Ajegunle, if you know the just dirtiest worst ghettos you can think of, Idu Karamo is a ghetto of illegal buildings. Every day we live in fear that when you come back from work in the evening, the Air of Fire has brought bulldozer to come and demolish your house because it kept happening. It's illegal, so they don't need to give you notice. They just come, any day they remember your area, they just come with bulldozer, demolish it. You come back from work, your things are outside. And of course, no water, no light, shanty. You come out from one toilet, you are entering one bedroom, you are just crossing people, no road, no street. So people can just come and build where you used to pass yesterday. We were on a journey. That was not our destination. That was a pathway. And do not despise your thorns, to use a language. Do not despise your thorns, because wherever you get to, whoever you become, you are the sum total of your entire journey, of your experiences that led you there. Perhaps if you had not gone through some of those things you went through, you wouldn't be the material for what it is that you are today, and for where it is that you are today. You wouldn't have. Experience is not what happens to you. It's the lessons you learn from what happened to you. It's what you make of what happened to you. Some people, you throw stones at them, they are, feeling pain and feeling hurt. Other people, you throw stones at them, thank you very much. They keep that stone and they climb upon it, and they're asking any more stones. So what you do with your thorns determines if you wear a crown or not tomorrow.
Wow. Like you said Idu in Abuja.
Yeah,
from Idu Karamo in Abuja.
I was there for less than 6 months. I knew I wasn't meant to be there. I knew my destiny did not belong there. I knew what I carried could not be nurtured and birthed there. From Idu, I paid for house, guess where? Minister's Hill.
In 6 months?
In 6 months.
So you're
Minister's Hill is the posh part of Maitama.
Okay, inside Maitama, the posh part.
Inside Maitama, there is a posh area called Minister's Hill.
Okay.
That's where I went and rented a house, because I could walk in the morning and Land Cruisers and convoys are passing. These are my neighbors.
And it does something to your mind.
It does something to your psyche. It helps you. You don't have imposter syndrome. You cannot take me anywhere and place me in any room in the world with every sense of modesty, and I'll feel out of place. No, I belong there.
Yeah, so that was a process for you.
It was.
It was a process. So I want you to tell us before that process where you became really confident, like, so times when you've doubted yourself, times when can you tell us a story of the time when you failed and you felt like this is the end, right? Times when you felt that you were not good enough, you were like, I don't think I can keep going. Can you tell us that story?
Thank you, Blessing. It also helps your foundation and your becoming, your journey, and the people that mold and curate that journey helps in where you eventually land. For me, I was lucky to find myself in a church. I'm a person of faith. I'm a Christian, a person of faith. If you know me, I do not joke with my God. So at a very young age in life, when I first moved to Abuja, I was lucky to join the Redeemed Christian Church of God, Desire of Nations Parish in Jabi. I was living in Idukarimo. Well, to tell you my mindset and orientation, I was living in Idukarimo. Of course, there are churches around Idukarimo. Before, my first church in Abuja was Family Worship Center, Pastor Ina Omaku, Pastor Sarah's husband, when they were holding services at Transcorp Hilton in Abuja.
You were going there from Idukarimo?
Yes. Wow. Now that's actually the kind of person I am.
Yeah.
While I was living in Idukarimo, in Ajegunle, I was attending service every Sunday at the best hotel in Nigeria, and of course in Abuja. Transcorp Hilton, Congress Hall was where I was attending church. So when maybe the transportation, the distance was a bit too much, if you're coming from Idu, you enter bus. Your bus will drop you at Bega Junction, then you enter another bus, which will drop you at Nikon Junction, then you enter another along, which will not drop you at. So it took 3 stops for me to get to Transcorp. I was still struggling. So then I found a church in Jabi, right on the road, which was just 1 stop from my own junction. So Desire of Nations Parish, Redeemed Christian Church, what it did to me was, the pastor that started the church, his calling was for young, upwardly mobile Christians, successful, upwardly mobile Christians. Those were his targets. So, Blessing, the person that was helping you park your car is a bank manager. The usher is a director in a federal ministry. You know, the corporate people, you see them dressed. The first orientation is, these people are serving God. They're working for God. Person directing you, helping you keep your chair and helping you carry your baby to children's church are people that you saw Mopol with yesterday, and suddenly today see them. So that gave me a new orientation. And then being in the midst of these people helped me know that, okay, they are young. They were not very much, well, a few were older than me, but the church was made of young people. But there was a common denominator, successful young people who were in love with God and serving God. So I knew this was my destiny. This is what I wanted to do. I wanted to be successful and serve God. So your orientation and mindset helps your evolution. You asked about the stories of the times where you feel that you cannot carry on, and how do you power yourself. Blessing, it helps a lot if you have prophecies, if you've come across great men of God, if you have prepared, and if you're on a positive trajectory. You've gone to school, you've served, you finished your service, so your mind is thinking opportunities. There's a lot I can do. I can settle down. I can work in big organizations. And even if I want to go my solo, I can hack communications. I can hack broadcasting. I can hack content. So you are filled with these optimisms. So naturally, there are days where it doesn't look like it. There are days that your present does not in any way look like the future that you've assured yourself. And maybe you've also been told, people compliment you. Wow, Blessing, like, Kai, I see you, you know. And you're like, okay, thank you, outside. But then when you go back inside, you sharp pour the last gari, no sugar. And, you know, you sit down on the floor. NEPA has finished, no money to recharge. You sharp on your rechargeable. Your phone is about to die. Your power bank is not.
I don't have power bank.
So it doesn't, all of these things. So that's where your mindset and orientation comes in. Please be positive at all times. Reassure yourself. Find your switch. I sing. I have a terrible voice. Agreed. You don't have to yab me. But to myself, I have the best voice, and the Lord loves my voice. My Father loves my voice. So find your switch. Find what powers you and keeps you going and reminds you that if he did it before, he would do it again. Of course, it has not been negatively. You've had highs.
Yeah.
Then sometimes there are lows. So if he did that high and now you are low, he will still, same God back then, same God right now. He will do it for you again.
Same God back then, same God right now. There are so many lessons so far from the stories, from the experiences, and I'm sure there's so much more coming in. But let's just take a short break. This is still Candid Conversations, and right here in the studio, we've been having an intriguing conversation
Your giftings
with Dr.
will find
Hart,
manifestation,
who has shared
if
so
you
many
know how to
lessons
bring
so
them out.
far, and is very much eager to share more, because
What's
he's
that one
someone that
specific
always likes to
experience that
share
you
his
keep
experiences,
remembering?
share behind the scenes. And sir, I want you to tell me one specific experience that has shaped the trajectory of your career to this moment. What's that one specific experience that you keep remembering, or that keeps being in your memories, that has shaped who you are today?
Thank you very much, Blessing. Okay. So one thing, and this is it, you must be ready at all times, wherever you are. If they ask you any question, be ready to answer. So do not say, I don't know. Or you have stories, tell them. Somebody, you don't know which of the stories will resonate with who. So, sometime in 2003, and I'm sure every young man, I don't know if women, if they catch the bug too, but every young man catches the bug of going abroad. And it's good I tell this story now because the Jackpot thing is at an all-time high. So then, this was way back in 2003. So what, 21 years ago? I caught a bug like every young man catches to travel abroad. And I had never been abroad. So now, somebody said he was going to get us an Oluwole, which is fake visa, to South Africa. And when we get to South Africa, if we spend 6 months, we'll be able to get a South African passport, which, Oluwole too, of course, which will now enable us travel visa-free to the UK. When we get to the UK, spend another 6 months in the UK, then we'll be able to go to America, which is our ultimate destination. Remember, all of this rigmarole is going to take over a year and a lot of shady things to be able to finally get there. And I said, I'm game. So we started, we were 4. We were 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. They kept going. Even in that desperation, I knew that even if it is going to be fake, can I get a visa in my name? They couldn't get me a visa in my name. I didn't think I needed to go to a new country and start answering Zubairu, Abdusalam, or whatever. My name is Sam Hart. Can I get a visa in the name of Sam Hart? They were either stealing people's passport or people's visa or whatever. I don't know how they were doing it then. So 4 of my friends who were doing the plan together left. Something happened. I don't want to go back into it, but something happened, and because of my insistence on getting my visa in my name, the last person left, and I just knew, okay, this wasn't it for me anymore. And 2-3 months were spent on that endeavor. I sold my entire belongings and possessions to be able to travel. But something happened, and the whole money went away like that. And I pulled myself back. I heard clearly from the Lord that nobody may send you this one. I did not send you to travel. So it is not my plan for you. So I moved. I moved out, and it's okay to move when wherever you are, whatever you're doing is not working, feel free to move. So I moved. I went to another state. I went to Bielsa. I was doing a project for them. Everything was working until one morning they came to say, they are not happy that you are not from Bielsa State and you are making this much progress in Bielsa. You are not safe here. Then the height of militancy and all of that. So I had to leave. So I said, okay, if Bielsa people are angry that I'm succeeding in Bielsa, I'm not from Bielsa, I'm from somewhere. Where am I from? I said, okay, I'm from Abia. Okay, let me go to Abia. Prior to that, remember, I grew up in the north. I didn't know anybody, just my grandfather was all I knew in Abia. So I went, told my grandfather, give me some time. I need to settle down and chat my life and all that. And he was like, I can assure you, bed and breakfast. I don't have money to give you. I'm an old man. I'm an old farmer. But bed and breakfast, you will get. Food and bed, you will get. I said, that's enough for me. Blessing, within 2 weeks of being in Abia, I had 2 jobs. I went to the House of Assembly. because I had consulted for the then Speaker of the Federal House of Representatives. Then, so I went to, again, God asked Moses, what do you have in your hand? So for every time you're looking for what to do, what can you do? Should be the question you ask yourself first, because that question will come up. So I went to the Speaker of the House of Assembly. I waited all day. I eventually saw him around 6 p.m. and they told him, somebody from Abuja has been waiting for you since morning. His leg was inside, one leg was inside his car. He said, yes. I said, well, I came from Abuja. I just came to see what I can do for you. What can you do? I can do this. I can write speech. He said, speech? Oh, okay, yes. He came back. He came out. And he said he has a lecture to deliver the next day at the university, but he doesn't have a speech yet. I said, let me have the topic. He gave me the topic. I said, okay, go. You will have a speech by tomorrow. So I went back and I knocked out 10 pages of a well-prepared speech on the topic. The next morning, we went together to the school, delivered the lecture. Everybody was amazed. And he said, when can you start? I said, sure. So House of Assembly, he was closing by 2. It was too boring for me. So I went to Government House. Hear this. I went to Government House in Umuahia. I don't know a soul. I told them at the gate, I want to see the governor. I'm from there, but I don't know anybody, only my grandfather. I said, I want to see the governor. They said, are you a journalist? The security man asked, are you a journalist? I said, in my mind, if it is the criteria for seeing the governor, maybe. I said, yes, I'm a journalist. He said, okay, I'll take you to the chief press secretary and he will take you to the governor. I said, take me there. So he started marching, I started following him. So they took me to the chief press secretary. He said, this man said he wants to see the governor. The man said, yes. I said, yes, I'm from Abia, I need a job. So I said, what can you do? I can do this. I said, I mentioned computer. Computer was a big deal in Abia in 2003.
Yeah.
He said, you can operate the computer. I said, this man, I almost said, duh. Then I comported myself. I had a laptop. Come on. He said, okay, do this. So I did in his presence. He said, when can you start? We've been looking for somebody who can do this. The person who was doing it was coming from Lagos and doing a lot of shakara for them before he would come. They had to tell him, don't bother, don't come again. We found someone. And within a short while, that was how I started working directly for the governor, traveling with him. You will always see your giftings will find manifestation if you know how to bring them out. Be willing to sacrifice, be willing to volunteer. If you want to be an intern, be an intern. Just find an opportunity, find a place to stand and show what you can do. And once you have it in you, the world will. So I was supposed to travel in 2003. I didn't travel, but within 3 years of doing all this wahala to be able to go to South Africa, of course, I got to South Africa. My honeymoon was in the same South Africa in 2006, 3 years later, just to show that country that I have arrived.
Yeah.
And prior, of course, I didn't know as a young man that it was possible to approach an embassy and apply for visa and they will give you visa. I just thought it was impossible. You can only do backyard mago.
Yeah.
I had an American visa, I had a UK visa, and this is the beginning of my travel. And like you said, I've been to 48 countries now. And so, do not insist on doing it your way. Listen out. As much as you are doing it your way, listen out for the voice of God.
Yeah.
Some of the challenges you may face on the path, I'm not saying this is a rule of thumb, so that you don't walk away at the first challenge. Some of the challenges you might face on your journey might just be God saying, this is not my plan for you. But then some could also be resistance to test your resolve. If you are really, down for this, or if you are going to chicken out at the first. But just, it takes a lot of spiritual discernment. But in all of this, please walk with God on the journey. On your journey, walk with God. It is very important. He will never leave you. He will never forsake you. He will guide you. Even on the days that it seemed darkest, hold on to Him and He will guide you through.
I really wish we could go on and on and on, but sadly, right, we have to gradually come to the end of today's episode, but not without letting you play our game. I can't release you on the show without letting you play our game. So,
bring it on.
It's very simple. I have a list of 10 things here, right? They are questions, fun questions. So choose a number and anything whatever the question is, you've got to answer. Right?
I will. My favorite number is 7, so go for it.
7. Okay. I love this one.
Bring it on.
Tell us about your most embarrassing moment.
Hey.
Yes.
My most embarrassing moment. Okay. This happened in Houston, Texas.
Okay.
A while ago. So I went to Houston. So I was hungry. I came down and I went to the restaurant. So, people were milling around, nobody to attend to me. So I saw people on the queue. buffet, queuing to take food. So I went to join the queue, and I was also taking my own food. And then, a few people were pointing at me, making comments, pointing at me. So my silly black mind said, these people are racist. Because I was the only black guy in that entire room. So I said, these people are racist. Me, Africa, I go show now today. I found my way here. I paid my way here. I can pay for my food. So I posed and I prouded even more. I was taking additional portions. So they were calling staff, pointing at me, So I said, this racist, Nami Anuna today, I go chop this food. Until I carried my food, got to the table and sat down, only for one of the staff to come and meet me and say, sir, I was already ready to lash out and say, I said, sir, are you a member of the group? Hey, well, what group? I said, no, that this is a paid, this is a paid event, and the lunch is for members of the group. And please, if you do not have identification as a member of the group, you are not supposed to eat here. I'm going to politely ask you to please excuse her. Wow. Okay.
Slightly embarrassing.
Okay. I'm sorry.
And there was no way for you to not make it okay. Just
I'm already here and I've already carried the food now. Make una leave me with my food. And I was hungry, but I just told them, of course, you don't want to make a scene. You're abroad and you are decent, you're disciplined. So just apologize. I told them I'm sorry. There was nobody to guide me and all of that. And they said, okay, fine. So I just left. That was very embarrassing.
Imagine.
False assumption that they were being racist. No, they were just protecting their food. They paid for it. So who am I?
Okay. And I feel that's a very good way to end the show.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for staying up until this course, and I'm sure you enjoyed every moment just as we did. See you in the next episode of Candid Conversations. I remain your host, Blessing Forgiving. Bye for now.